Are we?
We are.
Okay.
Okay. So, we are at the Adelaide Oval.
Yep.
India versus England. For the first time in 9 years, you're seeing India versus England in a knockout match.
Correct.
When was the
9 years,
last time?
10 years.
9 years.
2012.
2013 Champions Trophy final.
Acha, all right.
Knockout game.
all
Knockout
right.
game, I'm saying.
Knockout game.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it in a World Cup,
Yeah.
excluding the Champions Trophy, World Cup, it's 35 years.
Yes.
1987 was the time when England and India clashed in the semi-final at Mumbai and England won. Now, whether you're going to have 87 vibes, 2013 vibes, whether it'll be 2007, 2017, we all don't know, because in the next 3 hours, what we are going to see is two teams, two contenders to the throne, who are going to square off. And anyway, in this World Cup, already there's going to be a historical fact that
There will be a two-time.
you will have a second two-time World T20 champion. It is given either of England, either of India, either of Pakistan. So let's see what happens. Yesterday, Pakistan showed why they are Pakistan, why they are mercurial,
Why they are unpredictable.
why are they loved. So that is why
It's the way this nation has played cricket. They are true to their...
It's the way they've been successful also.
Exactly.
And if you have to look at it, when there is adversity in the country, they do seem to
Recording
perform
in progress.
Yes.
So, in a way, if you look at it, Pakistan in 2009 came on the backdrop of the deadly terror attacks against the Sri Lankan team in March, but then they pulled off their best at that moment.
Yes.
2017 also severe issues that plagued Pakistan. 2022 there was the floods.
There were the floods, yes.
And
There was a heat
also-
wave as well, let's not forget.
Yes,
of course, the nation was troubled far more by the floods, but let's not forget the heat wave as well.
Heat wave also, yes. And there was also an assassination attempt on the former Prime Minister. And if we may be related to 1992, the last captain for them to win the ODI World Cup. So Pakistan are in the final, and if we have to say, on paper at least, India look favourites to go there.
Yeah.
I would say, because of the overnight developments, with regards to the two changes now which are going to happen for sure now, we're going to see two changes now in this English side. So I think that those two changes have just sort of tilted things in India's favor just a bit now.
Even then, I agree that not having Wood major hurt, but if you ask me, there's one player England can bring in who would travel India from their bench. I'm not talking about Taimal Mills, neither am I talking about
Phil
Jordan.
Salt.
David Willey.
But I don't think he's going to make it.
No, you might not. Why not?
Who do you...
Then you already have Wood out.
Yes.
Bring in Willey in this player.
You're not bringing in a T20 specialist in Jordan then?
See, Jordan, T20 specialist, I agree, but in recent years...
But from what I've been hearing, given they want to practice that Chris Jordan did yesterday, he is all set to be a part of the playing 11.
Saying that's my call. If I were there, I would go with Willey for two reasons. One, left-hander.
Yes.
Always that is something that troubles India. Two is that he can tend to be a little troublesome bowler. Jordan in recent years has been hit or miss, particularly against India. I think the only batsman who he has a relatively good record against is pointing out Surya Kumar Yadav. Maybe that matchup plays a factor. Who knows?
Maybe. Because look, you are not going to have the services of Mark Wood probably, because he is not trained at all.
He's barely been bowling.
Yes.
Just bowled a couple of overs.
And
yesterday.
That muscle stiffness might make him miss this semi-final, and plus David Malan is not a certainty.
Is nowhere near. I think, it's worth remembering that even in the press conference, Butler was constantly talking about how Phil Salt being impressed.
So
it seems like Phil Salt will be the one who gets
it. And remember, Phil Salt impressed in the series against Pakistan.
He did.
Prior to this.
Salt and Harry Brook was the other one. But Brook, of course, got drafted into the 11.
Although Brook struggled in the series against Australia prior to the T20 World Cup.
And has struggled largely in this World Cup as well. Harry Brook, we're yet to see him.
I remember I was a little surprised when they brought him in, because I thought they would again maybe go for Willey. But I think they have enough all-round options. Maybe that was what they wanted.
You already have a left-hander in Sam Curran.
You already have, Sam Curran. And to be fair, I mean, he's done really, really well.
Yes, he has.
Of course.
He's the man for their death overs.
Yep.
Yes.
So
I think
India
he's conceded just one boundary.
Oh, yes,
In
and
about-
against Hardik Pandya, he has
In
a
about 40
fantastic
balls,
record.
balls that he's bowled
Yep.
in the death overs, he's conceded just one boundary. So interesting prospect. The only matchup when I see, we've been talking about matchups for good 20 to 48 hours now, I would say, is that Sam Curran has dismissed Hardik Pandya twice in T20Is and he's also dismissed Surya Kumar Yadav in T20s, not T20Is.
One time he's dismissed.
IPL was it?
5 matches, 5 T20Is, one time.
Oh,
He's
five in
dismissed him
T20.
one time.
Right.
But Sam Curran will be a different perspective altogether because he is yet to show his brilliance with the bat. Remember,
And
he's a capable bat.
more importantly, the Sam Curran of 2022, a very different prospect of Sam Curran 2 years back.
Yes.
We all thought when he first burst onto the scene, yeah, this is the guy. England have found a competent test bowler for 10 years. He's turned out to be a beast in white ball cricket too.
Yes,
So-
he is. And let us not forget Adelaide. Contrasting fortunes for India and England when it comes to this iconic venue.
Right.
India have a great record in Adelaide. If you have to look at in all formats combined, they
Yeah,
have.
Adelaide is their second home.
Yeah, I mean 64% is their win percentage in Adelaide. So,
Kohli's record, we all know.
Certainly home to one guy England will have special plans for. He's
Virat.
averaging 77 at this, 75 at this stadium.
75.6 at this venue.
Across formats.
But in T20Is, he doesn't have an average.
Because
Because he's not been dismissed.
Virat Kohli, yes.
90 not out and
64 not out.
64 not out.
Yep. But England, they are also unbeaten in Adelaide in T20Is. But that was way back in 2011 and they won by 1 wicket. And if you have to look at their overall white ball and red ball record in Adelaide, Adelaide's been the venue where they have lost the Ashes under 11 days. Be it 2013, be it 2017, be it 2021. The Ashes, whenever it's been in Adelaide, they have lost except for the one time when spectacularly James Anderson, Kevin Peterson turned the tide in 2010. But apart from that, 2006, who would have thought Vaughan's mesmerizing spell? White ball cricket, England have struggled more often than not on Australia Day.
Yeah.
So that is why Adelaide has not been a great venue for them. And if you have to look at it, India, they have an advantage that they've already played in Adelaide. England are playing for the first time in Adelaide.
Although, again, it's worth noting that given the weather has suddenly undergone a bit of a change, I think you're encountering slightly different conditions over here. Slightly.
That may be the case because look, England, it's currently cloudy at the moment in Adelaide. It's not burning.
But no rain forecast, I
No,
believe.
there's no rain forecast, and also, but Nikhil was saying that the weather in the weather updates that he's done for us is that it's gotten hotter,
Yes.
but it is interspersed with coolness. But that getting hotter in itself will have some material effect on the pitch. And remember, we're using a used strip for this particular
Even
match.
though Josh Butler said in his
That
press
we've had
conference,
a word with them
he
and
had
all.
a word with the pitch curator, and the curator has assured him that it won't be a worn-off pitch. And in fact, there were visuals that surfaced of Rahul Dravid and Rohit Sharma as well having a word with the curator. So a lot of thought, a lot of attention being given to this used
particular
pitch
strip here.
in Adelaide. But it's been a good ground, let's say, for both the teams.
Yeah.
Well,
They have good
England are-
memories. England
England are playing for the
here.
first time, yeah. England are playing for the first time here.
Are they?
Yes.
In this tournament?
Yes.
They haven't played here before.
They haven't played here in this
India
tournament.
for sure. India
played
back
against
after a week.
Bangladesh. Yep.
India back after a week.
Yes, November 2 was the time when they played against Bangladesh.
Absolutely.
And if you have to understand, there are two stats which may stand out. 6 matches played in Adelaide, teams that have batted first. They have won 4 times, but the teams batting second have also won 2 times. India's win here came when they defended.
Correct.
Yes.
The only other team to do that was the Netherlands when they beat Zimbabwe and dumped them out of the tournament.
Correct.
But apart from that, batting first, it's always been advantage for its sides. So, in a way, it's a very mixed bag. What will you do if you are batting first? What will you do if you are batting second? But Kohli batting second, it's at least up his alley.
It is up his alley. So is the case of Surya Kumar Yadav, I would say.
Yep.
Even though right now you make him bat anywhere, any innings doesn't make a difference.
Exactly.
But I think India or even in England for that matter, the team winning the toss, I think, will choose to bat first.
100%. 100%.
I mean, look, you have to.
Given the fact that there could be assistance for the spinners, and yes, traditionally we've seen on this ground there's been assistance for the spinners. Again, the pitch wears off. You want your spinners to come into play, and yeah, perhaps you want to make the most of the conditions.
India versus England, and the other stat is England have 10 wins, but they have lost 12 against India. And in the last couple of series, it's been 3-2 in favor of India and 2-1 in favor of India. But
yes,
looking at it, England know how to beat India on a consistent basis. I mean, if you exclude the T20 World Cup where India have a superior head-to-head record, 2-1 against them, India somehow, they tend to not put in their best against England sometimes, although today might be an exception. So, that is also there.
Even talking about that bilateral series which we had with them in July, again, I think you finished 2-1.
2-1 in favor of India.
2-1, but those two wins that India had, in fact, that narrow loss as well that came in the third T20. I think India were largely comprehensive in that series. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, they were. But also remember that was a very different looking England side.
Exactly, and that's where my concern is when you talk about these two teams pitted against each other right now, because and perhaps this is why everything that has happened before this game, let's say earlier in this year or in the build up to this match, doesn't really count for a lot. Regardless of all the series wins that India have had over the last 1 year since the World Cup, you had the likes of Hooda, Ishan Kishan, Shreyas Iyer, all of these guys coming in, going out. You had a Ruturaj Gaikwad also playing in. None of these guys are in the scheme of things right now. You had Yuzvendra Chahal be a part of all those bilateral series win. He's not a part of the team right now.
He is not.
So, in many ways, England are going to be facing a new India of sorts also.
It's new India versus new England in this T20 World Cup.
True.
Because some players were rested, although England did bowl to the core of the Indian batting in that series.
True, because you had Kohli there, Rohit.
You had Rohit there, you had KL. I think KL wasn't there.
No, he wasn't there because he got fit just before Zimbabwe.
Yeah. And you had Surya, you had Arshdeep, you had Bhuvi, you had Pandya,
And to be fair,
you had Pant.
They struggled against our bowling. That is for sure. But you have to remember those pitches were giving a hell of a lot more swing.
Yes.
I don't think you're getting as much in Adelaide.
You're not. But even then, openers for some reason, as we've been talking, have struggled.
They have all been circumspect.
Yeah, I mean, look, England, only 2 players have hit 50s in this World Cup.
The
and
two
that
openers.
is the openers.
Alex Hales and just
Which is where the worry for England here is, because, in fact, statistically speaking, none of their middle order batsmen have scored 60 runs cumulatively, and second of all, none of them have hit more than 1/6 till now.
Yep, that is the problem.
So that's the problem. That's what India would want to exploit. I'm sure they're more than informed about these numbers.
Yep.
But again, it's a new surface, and there are worries for India as well.
Yeah. See, it's not going to be an easy walk in the park. Unlike
Yes.
what we saw.
These are two very
What we
evenly
saw
matched
in the
teams.
Pakistan-New Zealand game where Pakistan dominated from the word go, it will not be easy.
Also, you have to remember one of the reasons they did was because New Zealand pretty much disappeared on the given day. Their fielding was poor.
Yes,
bowling
the fielding was poor. Yeah.
Imagine when Mitchell Santner drops catches.
Then you know it's a bad day.
It's a bad day indeed.
Vibes.
So today, even India, England's batting has also been reliant on 2 or 3, max 3 players at max. India also 2.5 players.
It's a case of 2.5 batsmen versus
2.5 men.
2.5.
2.5 men. And look, you have Virat and Surya doing it for them, and both have a fantastic partnership. And also, Virat is not only a leading run getter, Surya scored 100 against them the last time.
Exactly.
So it is going to be, if you get Virat and Surya out cheaply, that one bad day where we are talking about, one bad day.
And both of them are allowed this bad day now, by the way.
Yeah, because I think they
Both
carried
of
the
them
batting
are.
through the group
Yes,
stages.
through the
Now
group
it's time
stage.
for the others to step up.
Yeah, let's not forget that against Bangladesh as well, against Zimbabwe also, if it wasn't for Surya, you wouldn't have been looking at that total.
No,
of course, you would
correct.
have won the match.
Yeah.
But again, the talk about Surya being a 360 player and, him operating at a strike rate of close to 200 now in this tournament, it wouldn't have happened had it, not been, let's say, an opposition like Zimbabwe for that matter.
Correct.
Yep.
But all said and done, to be fair to Surya, he can really do that to any bowling attack at the moment.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So England have to be smart in their bowling, because imagine Surya, no bowler intimidates him at this point in time.
Yeah.
So Surya is the only individual who can go for it. At the same time, what if both Surya and Virat fail?
Yeah.
Is there a plan B or a plan C for them? This is where I think Hardik Pandya, Rishabh Pant / DK will have to step up.
I have my worries about Pandya. As we were going through that footage as well, I saw some of his practice visuals yesterday. And they got me worried because he was, again, as has been the case this whole World Cup, he's not been able to time the ball properly.
Yes.
He got a scratchy 40 against Pakistan, I believe. Vital 40 given the circumstances.
Yep.
But on umpteen occasions after that, he was not put into bad.
He's generally struggled against the quicker bowlers in that sense.
But he wasn't able to pick the slower ones as well.
No, because he's trying to hit everything too hard. He's not playing the ball. He's decided, I'm going to hit.
His dismissal also to Nawaz in that Pakistan game
Correct.
was a slash.
Yeah.
All he had
Quite
to do was get exactly. He just again, in Hindi that is a lappa. He went for that lappa.
Yes. So it is a very evenly matched team because England also have mostly 2 or 3 players. India also have 2 or 3 batsmen.
And both teams, by the way, have really relied on their bowling. Both teams.
And
both
if you look at it, the left armers, Sam Curran versus Arshdeep.
Yeah.
Those two have been their lead bowlers in their respective sides.
One place where I give England a slight edge is their middle over spinner.
Yes.
Adil Rashid was consistently not finding form. Then against Sri Lanka, when they were...
Is he picking wickets?
But you know,
he's not. He's drying up the runs. He's very economical. I think he's the third most economical.
He's the Ashwin in the team.
He is the third most economical bowler that they've had in this tournament.
But in that sense, Joss Butler makes one valid point. When in the press conference he said, look, we're backing him because he's also not had luck. There have been dropped catches off his bowling.
Yes.
There have been.
Yes.
And if those, again, that column looks a lot more different if you taken those dropped catches. And sometimes, to be fair, with Rashid, he doesn't look to be economical.
Yes.
I don't think he looks to be economical. Batsmen don't like taking a risk against him because they know one wrong shot, one misread and you're throwing your wicket away.
Yeah.
With Ashwin, the effort is there to restrict. His lines more often than not will be middle leg coming in hard to pick. With Rashid, he has variations and he looks to take wickets. The reason he hasn't is because teams are playing him out. Couple more catches taken and he'd have more wickets.
Yes. So...
But let me put Sidhi here in the spot now. Since Sidhi, as we all know, is an Ashwin fan also. A case to be worried about, let's say, when you talk about Ashwin, because he's been getting smacked for the last couple of matches now.
But I think they're going to stick
his
with
lines. You think he's missing his lines?
They have 3 left-handers, England.
They have 3 left-handers. And on top of that, look, Ashwin, the struggle that he's had has also impacted the death bowling. Let us be very, very clear about it.
Yeah.
Now, whether that will continue today, it remains to be seen. Because look.
But where do you think he's going wrong? With his lines? I think he's missing his lines.
I think when you are trying to bowl the test match line, somehow he doesn't back himself in doing it. He's not attacking.
He's not, you're right. That
is the only thing. He's not attacking enough.
But now, is he looking to take wickets?
No, he's not. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And the thing is that
I think no bowler goes in with that mindset that I'm not going to take it. I'm just controlling economy. Okay. I think what has happened is he's caught between trying to be too attacking or trying to be too defensive. What do I do? Can I attack? No, I think I'll be defensive. No, I'll attack.
Yeah, and you know, it's good to have that thing of mindset of let me switch and be flexible. But generally speaking, T20 is such a format. Sometimes you have to pick one mode and stick to it. The best of attacking or wicket-taking bowlers, and this is true whether you're a pacer or a spinner, at that one moment they'll smell blood and they'll be like, you know what, I'm going to be attacking. So, like a Mark Wood, for instance, he might not get wickets.
But do you see Ashwin bowling his leggies today?
No, but he'll go
that
for
is the
carry.
problem. Well, that is the problem. With too many variations. He tries a lot at times.
He's not done that so far. But again, I think if you ask me, I think he just needs to back his strengths a little more.
See, the thing with him is that, you know, even if he has 2 variations, one stock ball and his carom, that's enough. The problem is now, since he's trying so many things, I think he himself ends up getting confused what I should do. Yeah, and it's a thing I've seen a lot of spinners struggle with. Sometimes they'll resort to using their variations so often that it becomes a stock ball.
Yeah.
You have to actually avoid that.
Yes, I think that's the case with Harshal as well.
Traditionally, if you look at it, Australia has not been very, very friendly towards spinners also. You have to understand that.
Finger spinners, I would say.
And even in the start of the season, the start of the summer, leg spinners and spinners don't get assistance in Australia. Plain and simple. They get assistance towards December, January, when the pitch
it's really hot.
Yeah, that's the
Which is where I actually think that, Adam Zampa deserves some respect.
Hey, that guy in Australian conditions is very, very effective.
Exactly. He's been...
But for me, the guy who deserves the utmost of respect is Nathan Lyon.
Of course.
Finger spinner.
In
Australia.
In India as well.
But he's now got 430 plus wickets.
Exactly.
Yes.
And that too, he's got nearly half of them in Australia.
Yes.
And on top of that, he's done well in India. He's done well in Pakistan.
Exceedingly well in India.
He's done well in Sri Lanka. He's done well in Bangladesh.
Yeah.
So you have to give him credit where it is due. And Nathan Lyon is one of the most underrated finger spinners that we have in this.
Right, absolutely. And especially in a generation where we value wrist spinners so much, he's flown the flag for finger spinners.
Yep. From Adelaide, and Nikhil is going to give us all the mood there.
Soon.
Yep.
Sanket, good morning. We should take some comments actually.
Yeah, Yogesh Hake, thank you so much. But Rohit did a century. He may hit a 50.
Well, he'd be looking forward to this contest. I think he's got good memories of playing against England in the World Cup. He got a 50 if I'm not wrong.
Yes, he got a 50 in Colombo.
Colombo, was it?
Yes.
Right.
And he
Yes.
ensured
Kohli got a 40 odd, and I
40.
think
it was Harbhajan Singh, 4
Singh who ran
two
absolutely
maidens,
riot.
4 wickets for 12.
4 wickets.
Also, have to remember, Rohit, by the way, today has to really be wary of the short ball. Ironic, but he's had 3 dismissals with full shot.
Yes.
Blessing Musrabani got him out, then you got Lungi Ngidi getting him out, and then you had...
Ngidi got Kohli out as well on the short ball, right?
and I think...
Surya too, like that.
Shot, yeah.
Yes. And who else was the other bowler? I forgot. I think it is...
For that matter, even Surya got out to a short ball.
I think it was Tuskin. Yes, I think it was. So... let's see how that Adelaide, Sridhar Savaikar saying Adelaide doesn't offer much swing compared to other grounds. So does it make the case strong for UZ to play? As you know, wicket taken middle overs.
Unfortunately,
but again, will you get in UZ at this point? I had said paratroop him. I did say it, but then yes, England do have 2 problems against leg spin and left arm spin. But
you
England
have a left arm spinner in Akshar.
Yeah, but then are you going to get UZ and drop Ashwin for his batting?
And perhaps more importantly, are you going to rely on Akshar to bowl 4 overs against a batting lineup that has so many left-handers?
Exactly.
The only time for me, and to be fair, this fits in with what Rohit said, is that Akshar hasn't gotten to bowl much, and especially not during the power plays. No time like today to unleash that weapon. No time, because both your openers are right-handed.
Right-handed, yes. So you rather bowl...
To be fair, Alex Hales, very underrated player of spin.
Yes.
Especially in Aussie conditions, tonks them off the ground.
Yeah.
Yep.
But again, given how Arshdeep has been bowling with the new ball up top, you would not want to
maybe
make that
you will
change.
want to get Arshdeep and Akshar.
No, I think you can.
I think Akshar will be interesting because
what you can do is vary to this thing. Normally, what they'll do is they'll start with moving Arshdeep, moving.
But again, it's that matchup. I think that's going to matter because see, all said and done, these matchups at times can make a difference, and they act on one.
Is
Joss versus Bhuvi.
Exactly.
Again, robbing the new ball to Arshdeep, given the form that he is in, I don't think Rohit would want to take that risk.
What they might do is try and get Akshar in for 1 over in the power play. I think it's necessary because if you're not getting a wicket, Akshar is the kind of bowler who has that knack. He'll just keep bowling it straight on the stumps. Look to attack, you might just end up getting a wicket.
But it's a gamble. It's a gamble, especially when the square boundaries. Again, Alex Hales is one of those who can.
Exactly. That is my point of view.
Yeah.
And remember, one more dynamic here. In all the games that were prior to in Adelaide, they were all double headers. This is the only single header, and it will be fresh.
Yes.
The conditions will be fresh.
And that's the thing. I would rather play.
I think you will stick with it. I think you have to play both Bhuvi and Arshdeep in the power play. I don't see them changing that.
Akshar, then you're really risking it because I don't want to be bowling Akshar against a Moin. A, good player of spin. B, left-hander versus left-hander, you're asking for trouble.
Yep. So but where do you bowl Akshar then? See, you can't bowl him at the death for sure.
Left-handers thing, will he be dropped?
That's something I keep thinking of.
Maybe
also,
get
is that-
Chahal in.
Yeah,
I'm not too
that's-
sure. I'm
no.
not too sure of that.
That's
Again, see, he gives you that added. Again, if it's a bad day, if it's an off day for Surya Kohli, you need batting.
Oh, then Ashwin
You
Thakur
need,
will do the
and
thing.
see this regardless of the Rohit regime, regardless of the Virat regime,
But
regardless
again,
of whosoever has led India, Indians have always thrived on their batting. They always back their batting more than the bowling.
You are saying that we need an insurance of number 9 batters.
To be fair, I mean England.
That shows you are simply relying on a prayer. Oh, please let the top order.
No, you're just backing your strengths. You're backing yourself with the bat.
See, there's two ways of looking at it.
See,
one is
you're telling yourself no matter what total gets posted,
I can chase.
I have the depth to chase it down.
That's what England does.
I have the depth to
That's
chase
what
it
England
down.
do. Yeah.
Yes.
So I mean, you see, it's one thing also what we say, and we tend to see it as a negative mindset in the sense that you have to be playing some specialist bowlers. But what England does in white ball cricket is that we back our strength in the sense that we know our bowling is good. And to be fair, someone like Wokes, even if he couldn't bat, would 100% be playing in that team.
Yes.
But the man comes in at number 9 and can do a job. I mean, look at Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka actually brought the England batting down almost to its knees, and then you needed Wokes to come out there along with Stokes.
See, we will talk about all the other matchups, but I think we will be cutting very shortly to Adelaide to get the mood there. And yes, there is a lot of Lagan fields, absolutely. So in the Lagan fields, if you have to look at it, it's really a big problem. Can India win by 5 runs? Well, let's see what happens.
We'll have to wait and watch.
We have to wait. So,
all right, let's see if we can take more questions here.
Yeah. Only these are the So, sir, is Rohit Sharma saving his last for the best? Just go up a bit.
Last for the best? I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so too. Yes. It was there only. Is Rohit Sharma?
Hi, silly point. Long time we haven't seen you.
Yeah, but he's back as a station announcer.
And good morning, Sanket.
Yeah.
Sanket, by the way, United fan.
Yes.
All right.
Is Rohit Sharma saving his best for the last, just like MSD, one important innings? Well, I hope so.
Yeah.
But if it's India-Pakistan, Rohit gets a 50 or 100.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Then
What a time that
all the debate on the Rohitians and the Kohlians will then...
Viratians.
Yeah, whatever. Viratians, Rohitians, Kohlians.
Kohlians.
Yeah, whatever. Indians. That debate will be settled. But look, you have to understand one thing, that India versus England is much bigger because the rivalry is intense, especially in T20s. India-Pakistan's always been there.
Yeah, India-Pakistan is Janam Kanata. Really, when you look at it.
Janam Kanata, it all begins about 75 years ago.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But England is also intense.
It's
in
a
its own
renewed
way.
rivalry, India-England, if you see in many ways, because as we started by saying or began by saying that it's a new India facing a new England.
Correct.
Okay.
And I think we're joining Nikhil
we
now.
have Nikhil's joining us from Adelaide now.
Wonderful.
Is he through?
That's the stadium right behind me. And there's been an influx of fans all heading into the stadium. Some great creativity also at display. Let me take them one by one. He says, I've added one more check-in baggage to take the World Cup home. So he says he's got his flight tickets booked for India and has already upgraded one more check-in baggage because the World Cup is going to be going home for the India. Okay, what have you got?
And then Sing is king. Arshdeep, we love you.
Gives you so much confidence that the World Cup is coming.
Sir, the way India has been playing, there is no other team who's been that consistent. And look at the batting order and the bowling. England doesn't have that level of skill. And we have Sky with us. Sky hai to sab kuch mumkin hai.
Okay, so this one is for Surya Kumar Yadav. It says, yes. I just checked out her earrings. She's got the tricolor earrings. Must have been special.
Yeah, definitely. Just for this World Cup, we got it custom made.
Okay.
And
This is for the England team. I think the England team already knows this. They agree with this. Kohli retirement is equal to Brexit. Terrible idea.
Yeah, so see, you're finding various fun, related to the English team. Let me get something here as well. It says,
yeah, so this is the second off of Virat Kohli You know, Virat Kohli says too many times that Adelaide is my second home, and he started career from here to centuries in a one test match. So Virat Kohli is gonna bang today. Just keep on eyeing Virat Kohli. Just India.
I have only one word to say.
That's
We have the loudest roar from the most littlest person. Vienna. Lion.
We came all the way from New York. So we traveled 30 hours. We watched the league games and we booked both the semi-final because we didn't know which one India would play. And we already booked our final ticket. So we want to wrap up the trip with the World Cup.
doesn't matter where you came from. The chant for the Indian team remains the same, right?
Yes.
Jeetega bhai, jeetega. India jeetega. India jeetega. Right. I hope you have that same energy, even more so when you're at the ground. So, you know, it's all building up. Plenty fans coming in to watch that game. It's about a 40,000 capacity stadium here at the Adelaide Oval. And out of the 40,000, you'll clearly have about 39,000 odd Indian fans. At best, you'd find a few English fans, not too many red jerseys on display here. Everything that you see is the Indian jersey, bleed blue. Okay, Sunny Gavaskar, Pragyan Oja, Harbhajan Singh, our entire, gamut of panelists are joining us live on the program, helping us build up to that India versus England encounter. Sunny bhai, let me start with you. Before I get into the specifics of this game, overall, it's going to be a big day for Indian cricket, right? I mean, they've come very close. They've reached semi-finals, but that ICC trophy still eludes them. And it's been 9 long years. So big day for Indian cricket.
Absolutely. I think it's a knockout game. Earlier matches were group matches where you know that there is another match to come. But when you're looking at a knockout situation, then the pressures are completely different. So it's a very, very big day for India. And they've only got to focus on today, not to think about the next match.
Pragyan, same question to you. A lot hinges on this game, India versus England, because we've reached this stage. I mean, you remember the 2015 World Cup that happened in Australia. You reached the semi-finals, you lost. 2019 World Cup, you once again reached the semi-finals and lost. T20 World Cup 2016 semi-final, you lost. This is the stage where Indian team is pretty used to, but it's going that next step, that one step that India needs to take. Do you think today is that day?
Yeah, I think that is the reason why a lot of experts or a lot of people who really analyze Indian cricket, they have been speaking about it, that India, every time when you talk about league phase, they have done extremely well. They never showed any kind of pressure or anything. They were doing, they were spot on. But when it comes to the knockout or the semi-finals, that is where maybe little bit of pressure came in, and that is where they could not deliver the way they had promised in the league phase. So this is where I think Rohit and his team would look to change everything. This is where they need to address it right there and show that they are much better than what things have been projected about them earlier. So this will be a game, how well they handle this pressure, because as I always say, skill will always be similar. It will not change drastically, but it is how well they handle the pressure, how well they address it will define what they're up to today.
Harbhajan, two very strong teams, world number 1 and world number 2 in the ICC ranking. So clearly there are these two teams that have been consistent in this format. So man on man, very difficult to choose. Look at England's batting order. They bat very deep. Their bowling has sometimes leaked runs. Indian bowling, batting, I think they've got the right combination. If you were to look at the balance of both sides, how do you see it?
Yes, most certainly. Both the teams are evenly balanced. I think both the teams have brilliant batting. Bowling wise, I think England is slightly on the weaker side. I think I would give advantage to India because India's bowling is in form. Arshdeep he has been pick of a bowler in this competition, and when the ball swing, he's kind of unplayable kind of a bowler, and so is Bhuvneshwar Kumar. He's been also very, very good with the new ball. I think slightly advantage on Indian side because their bowling is also slightly better. But when it comes to batting, I think batting is, England, they bat very, very deep. They bat till number 10, number 9, number 10. They bat very deep.
Okay, Harbhajan Singh, Pragyan Ojha, Sunny Gavaskar, stay on with us as we build to that semi-final between India and England. Let's now take a closer look at India's bowling. Yes, batting remains India's strength. They've done very well in this tournament. But India suffered a big jolt right before this tournament started. Jasprit Bumrah, their ace fast bowler, was ruled out. Yet, the bowlers that were assembled in Mohammad Shami, Arshdeep Singh and Bhuvneshwar Kumar, along with the spinners in Ravichandran Ashwin and Akshar Patel, have more than done their job in this tournament, which is why India were able to top the group. How did they manage that? We take a closer look.
We are back. But by the way, the bowling, let's actually just take a quick look. India's bowling was expected to be an area of concern. And to be fair, there have been some issues. Death bowling has been an issue. Even now, we've been saved by some good batting. But have they performed better than we expected it? Especially, I think, Arshdeep. Because again, young bowler coming in here, first World Cup.
I think we've done way better than
Look,
I thought.
You have done...
Given what had happened in the 19th.
My prediction, even if you look at it, if Shane remembers, even if our producers remember, I had said India are reaching the semi-finals. Now, after the semi-finals, what happens is a lottery.
To be fair, knockouts always are.
Always are. And look, India, if you have to look at it, see, Kohli, we all forget his average of 75-60. We focus on an Adelaide. But look at his average in a T20 World Cup knockout. It's a staggering 238. With once. And that too, no bowler has taken his wicket. He was run out in that final in Mirpur. Yeah. Apart from that, that 89 that he hit against the West Indies, that was peak Virat Kohli in
2016 semi-final.
Yes, it was peak. Virat Kohli doing peak Virat Kohli things.
Exactly. The game before that, Australia.
I mean, that
arguably his second best
best relegated after this 82
so
that
that's
he
one thing
has.
I don't understand. I've always heard people say, oh, Kohli chokes in big matches. I've never understood that.
No,
logic.
that there is
some data point.
But that fact is misplaced. Overall, if you look at the big sample size of Virat Kohli in a ODI knockout, it is 34.3 at a strike rate of 87.8. I did that video yesterday where Kohli is brilliant when it comes to T20Is. In ODIs, yes, he has struggled, especially in the last three. Last three knockouts, if you have to look at it, 2015 got out for 1 of 13, 2017 got out for 5 of 9, and then in 2019 got out for 1 again. Cutting back to Nikhil.
Seeing all enjoying, many of them confident that India are going to be making that trip to Melbourne and playing the final there against arch rivals Pakistan. Sunny Gavaskar, Harbhajan Singh, Pragyan Ojha, all still with us. Saiba, if I'm comparing the two teams, one thing that you notice is that the bilateral series that these two teams have played, the last 4 bilateral series, all 4 have been won by India, although marginally. Do you think that's going to have any sort of impact in this game?
That certainly will help as far as confidence levels are concerned. If, for example, you've been playing against a country and they've been beating you quite regularly, then your confidence level is that much down. But here, if you've been winning the series, then obviously you're feeling that, whatever happens over here, you will have the answer to it.
Live हो, बताओ क्या होने वाला है? अच्छा, who's going to be getting the runs tonight?
KL, Sky, number 3 Virat, number 4 Sharma, and Mohammad Shami.
He'll get the wickets.
He'll get some wickets.
No. If it comes to Mohammad Shami getting runs, then we are in trouble. So you heard it from the fans. Of course, India is going to win. Yeah. Okay, Sunny Gavaskar, Harbhajan Singh, Pragyan Ojha still with us. Just looking at this encounter, one that we've seen, India doing well in bilateral series. Sahiba, my other question to you is, we've been hearing from a lot of fans. I've been here for about 2 hours now, and majority of the fans that I see are wearing the blue. I know we're miles away from India, but it's a sea of blue here. 95, 96, 97%. Oh, there's a rare English fan that I find. Very rare to get an English fan. I think it's all been hijacked by Indian fans. Very rare to get an English fan.
Yeah. I'm an English fan. I come from Middlesbrough. And who discovered it? A man from Middlesbrough, James Cook.
She's from Middlesbrough, she says. And says that, if not too many English fans, no problem. She's going to scream her lungs out. But, Saibai, my question to you was regarding the fans. This is going to feel like an Indian ground. How much do you think that support, that fan support that India is going to get, not so much England, how much do you think that will have an impact on the game?
Huge. It's a huge thing because, look, it's a feeling like you're playing at home when you have a support of the Indians over here. I would imagine that 90, maybe more than that, 90% of the crowd today would be Indians. And in such a situation, sometimes the opposition can feel the pressure. They can feel that they're playing overseas. I know England also is playing overseas, but to see many Indians around, the Indian flags fluttering, that is certainly going to add to the England pressure for sure.
Okay, looking at various factors, Sunny-bhai, which might benefit India. As you talk about the fans, fan support is going to play a major role. The other thing that's very interesting in this tournament so far, we've seen India play a game here. Come. Yeah. What have you got for us?
India. I come all the way from India just to watch the cricket matches. I am from Hyderabad, India. India will be winning this match. England को मुंह तोड़ जवाब देगी उसके बाद पाकिस्तान को हरा के India
tell me,
जाएगी.
Have you got an extra bag with you because trophy के लिए you'll need, na?
Yeah, we have the bag with us and we will take the Indian team also along with us and the trophy. Champion India.
Okay, thank you so much. This gentleman has come all the way from Hyderabad, as he was mentioning, to watch this particular game. Has already got his tickets for Melbourne too. But Sunny-bhai, coming back to the question, looking at various factors, one very interesting bit is that India have played a game here versus Bangladesh and they won that close encounter. England, mind you, haven't played a single game at the Adelaide Oval during this tournament. That also goes in India's favour, you reckon?
Well, I think as far as India is concerned, they'll have the advantage of knowing what the pitch is doing. They also have the advantage of knowing about the outfield. Look, even on the outfield, you sometimes think there's nothing important about the outfield, but there are certain slopes which come up with the rolling or not being rolled, and therefore there will be sometimes a bump, which for a fielder can be a bit difficult. So clearly, I think India having played here when the outfield was dry and when the outfield was wet, has certainly a lot of experience there for the Indian team.
Just to take that question forward, Harbhajan, we heard from Sunny-bhai how much of a difference it will make that India have already played in Adelaide. What do you reckon? Because, plenty spoken about Adelaide's condition. It's a spin-friendly track compared to all other stadiums that you get in Australia, maybe Sydney, Adelaide, two spin-friendly tracks. The other thing that we see, the square boundaries are short, unlike all the other stadiums that we get. The conditions in Adelaide, who do you think that's going to suit more? India or England?
I think if the ball swing, if the wicket allow the ball to swing, then this Indian bowling lineup with Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Arshdeep, obviously they are very, very lethal up front with the new ball. But what I have heard, the condition in Adelaide is going to be totally different. What we have seen in Melbourne. Melbourne obviously ball does quite a bit. We have seen, there's a lot of swing, bounce, but Adelaide is kind of a very, very good wicket to bat on. So we might not get to see a lot of swing there. So India need to use a different method. Then obviously, when the ball doesn't swing, as a bowler, you tend to, pull your length a little back. But all I want to say that, don't be afraid to bowl slightly up with the new ball. Try to still find, a little bit swing early in the inning to get past of Butler, because Butler is one of the key player of England's side, and you want to get him early. So that's something is very, very important. If the ball swings, we are good. If the ball doesn't swing, then we have to be very careful from this batting lineup of England.
Okay, on the subject of conditions, Pragyan, what do you reckon? One thing is certain, we heard from Harbhajan as well. He says this is one of the most batting friendly tracks in Australia. You're not going to see the ball swing a lot. All that in mind, a batting friendly track would suit which team more? India, which likes such conditions, or England, which have a very strong batting lineup?
Both the teams have a good batting lineup. They can. We have seen what both the teams can do on a given day, but then the case comes down to which bowling attack bowls well, which bowling team adapts to the situation well. So the bowling team that does better will have advantage, because for batting the wicket will help both the teams, but it is the bowling unit which does better. Saying that, maybe England will be a little worried about Mark Woods, because what I'm hearing is he may not be available. That will be a big blow for them, because he's a guy who can bowl those 150 plus deliveries, 145, 150. And, at that pace, even if the ball is not swinging, it can trouble the batsman. But because of his unavailability, maybe that will be an advantage for Indian team, because maybe someone like Chris Jordan will walk in, and Indians know what are the strengths of Chris Jordan and what best he can offer. He's not a quick bowler. He's a guy who plays around with angles, but he cannot fill the shoes of Mark Woods. That is something which England will be thinking about.
Okay. Sunny bhai, because talking about the conditions, one thing which is very peculiar here in Adelaide, I've been to Perth, I've been to Melbourne, big grounds, and the square boundaries are also pretty big. What you see, which is very different here in Adelaide, the straight boundaries are long, yes, but the square boundaries sometimes are short. How do you think that will play out? Will India look at it as an advantage, considering they're used to shorter boundaries back home? Or do you think, no, the English batting will also enjoy such short boundaries? How do you see that play out in this game?
I would imagine that the bigger advantage would be with the England team, because England's got some really big shot-making players, guys who can play the square boundaries, use the square boundaries well. So India will have to bowl really well, not give them the opportunity to make use or take advantage of the short square boundaries.
And the toss, Sunny bhai, what do you reckon would be a good thing to do here? Because again, the matches that we've seen in this tournament, I think 6 games that have been played, 4 have been won by team batting first. So clearly shows that there's an advantage batting first. But then we know India's strength is always chasing. What should India look to do in a knockout game like the World Cup semi-final?
I would think that since India have been better chasers, India should field. I know there's this thing about scoreboard pressure, but India, even if they put up big scores, sometimes they've not been able to defend those scores. India's strength has always been its batting and its batting depth. And therefore, I do believe that whatever total England put up, India should be able to get that.
Okay, a bit of a catch-22 situation. Go back 10 yards. Flag can be seen. It will stand back. Okay, give us.
Get 5 wickets today. Final. Kohli will hit a century today again.
Get the expected.
Formality for us. Final is ours.
You heard it from them. Says match. This one's a formality. We're reaching the finals, right? Arshdeep is picking 5 wickets. He says Kohli is getting 100. Pragyan, quickly to you on the subject of toss. It's a very tricky situation. Stats suggest batting first is good. India's strength is their batting, so chasing would be good. How do you see, does that knockout game pressure also play a role in deciding what to do? Because the other stat which is here is it's best to lose the toss, because teams that have been winning the toss have ended up on the losing side. So best lose the toss, let the other captain decide what to do.
Yes, absolutely. I've been following that. All the teams, most of the teams that they've won the toss have ended up losing. But more than that, I would strongly believe that, on a knockout game, in a semi-final game or in a finals, it is important that, you take that scoreboard pressure away from you. Maybe you have got a very good batting lineup, but at times, if you lose 1 or 2 early wickets, that pressure mounts on you really fast. So that is something which I personally believe, if you put a good and decent score on the board, then the opposition feels the pressure. Every time they lose a wicket, the pressure doubles. So maybe that is something which both the teams will be thinking about. Playing without the scoreboard pressure is totally different. Any team can go and express themselves, but when you talk about batting second, there is an added responsibility. So that is something maybe these two teams will consider.
Okay. That is something, as Pragyan points out, is something that the two teams will consider before deciding whether you need to bat first or chase. But the good thing is, this tournament, tosses have not played that important a role. Against the stat, against the grain of what's happening, results have also come. Unlike the previous T20 World Cup where we saw games being won on the toss of a coin. That's not happening this time, which is great for both teams. They would want, to test skills against each other and the better team winning. Our continuous coverage on India Today continues. You're watching Battle of Champions live from the Adelaide Oval, the venue for the second semi-final between India and England. We'll be back with more analysis, latest updates from the toss and playing 11. That's coming your way after a short rating break.
You can see there is plenty.
Yeah, I mean, look.
The fan fervor is crazy. It's hyped up.
Everywhere India and Pakistan fans go, it is crazy. It is chaotic.
Yes.
It is confounding.
Yes.
But
yes.
the World Cups, wherever India and Pakistan are involved, if you do not have these fans, then it's not a World Cup.
Exactly.
Which is why I like what Matthew Hayden said yesterday. I want an India-Pakistan final for the spectacle.
Yeah, correct.
It's a spectacle. You heard that from something on the same lines from Aaron Finch as well after Australia's exit. He said, once I will retire, one thing I want to see in the world of cricket is an India-Pakistan match.
Correct.
Which he might see still.
Which he might see, but not as a retired player though now. Of course,
he can go because he doesn't have any other commitment.
He doesn't have any duties right now. So he jolly well can enjoy. Yes.
Yeah, so that's why.
But for that to happen, a must-win game for India at the Adelaide Oval today. Shortly though, we'll have the toss as well happening. And I think the two captains will be arriving very, very shortly.
India, okay.
But law of averages, to be fair, could catch up with England also. They also haven't had the...
When it comes to head-to-head against India.
Oh, that way, sure.
That way. See, India are leading 5-3 in the last 8 T20s against England.
Yes.
3-2, 2-1, and especially the last 5, they lead 4-1.
Yeah.
So it is
last 5, right?
Yeah. They are not going to be really, really easy pushers.
This is touch and go.
Remember,
this is touch and go.
Very, very, very touch and go. So, see, at the end of the day, it all depends on which facet of the team comes to the fore. Whether it's India's batting, that everybody clicks.
Yeah.
Whether it is England's batters who click. Because
to be fair, they've not come to the party and no time like the present to do so.
And remember, they are coming from a group that has been impacted the most by rain. So they've had very little chances also.
Correct.
See, they didn't, the game against Afghanistan in Perth, that was a low scorer. The game against Ireland, rain affected. The game against Australia washed out.
Yep.
The only time where they really come to the party was against New Zealand at the Gabba.
Yeah.
And the Gabba wicket was much
good
more
win
truer.
by England.
Yeah.
Yes. Comprehensive. In fact, they put New Zealand under pressure from the word go.
See, England, if they can get a foothold, they are good at maintaining the pressure.
Yeah.
They will not show it at, oh, we are under pressure, but they will maintain the pressure. That's what they do well. That's why they had success in 2010. They had success in 2016. That's why they had a bit of success in 2019 also.
Don't say 19, please.
Huh? I mean, whatever say, it was in the rules.
Yes.
They did win it.
Yes,
they did win. England are the winners. That can't be changed. Even if you go to the court of arbitration for sports, it doesn't change because New Zealand didn't cheat, England didn't cheat. It was a misinterpretation by the umpire, but pressure can do strange things.
Yeah, and to be fair, I've seen, I remember when Stokes was talking about the spirit of cricket debate, people were putting that picture out and I'm like, hold on, he didn't actually do anything wrong there.
Yeah.
He was diving for the crease and the ball just happened to hit
that
his
was
bat.
just inadvertent.
That showed that the force was with England.
Yeah, in that particular...
Yes.
Yes.
No, but then the criticism was Dharmasena should have signaled it only as final.
No, that is fair, but that has nothing
Yes.
to do with Stokes.
That was very well
That's not a
pointed.
spirit. That's not a spirit thing. He can't tell the umpire, no, just change it back.
Yeah.
How the umpire interprets it is not his call. Oh, and by the way, look, you have what do you call Rishabh Pant doing wicket keeping practice. I think that gives you an indication of who might be starting today's match.
And we are
Oh, we are
switching
switching
back
back,
to
and
Adelaide.
don't forget it's toss time.
Toss time.
The T20 World Cup between India and England. Two very strong teams, ranked number 1 and 2 in the ICC rankings. England would be looking to spoil India's party, who are looking forward to playing India-Pakistan final. The entire, cricketing world, you could say in that sense, is waiting for that big game. But we heard from Joss Butler yesterday where he said, I don't think the entire world wants an India-Pakistan final. We don't. We want to be there in the final. Let's see if England turn out to be party poopers or not. For the moment, I'm still joined by our 3 analysts in Pragya Anoja, Sunil Gavaskar and Harbhajan Singh. Sunny bhai, on to you on this one. What we've got to know from the ground staff that the pitch for this game is a used pitch. It's a pitch that saw the game between Australia and Afghanistan 6 days ago. They're using that same pitch, which is surprising because in a World Cup knockout game, you tend to serve a new pitch, but they've gone with a used pitch. How do you reckon that's going to play out in this game? And does that then become a factor when you're going to be deciding what to do, bat first, bowl first?
Well, I think because of the fact that these are drop-in pitches, what happens generally with these drop-in pitches is that the curator, they're good pitches to bat on. The ball will come onto the bat quite nicely. There will be a little bit of help for the wrist spinner, not so much for the finger spinner. But they have got the opportunity for the next for the earlier 4 or 5 days to roll the pitch. So I don't think that having been played on before and only 4 or 5 days ago, I don't think that's going to make much of a difference.
Harbhajan, we all are talking about that India-Pakistan encounter, but still one step at a time. India first need to beat England. And I mentioned about that statement of Joss Butler saying, we don't want it. We want England to be playing the final. That's understandable. England also come with a big reputation in white ball cricket. They might be there against Pakistan come Sunday in Melbourne. So can't take any team that lightly, would you say?
Well, any opposition captain will say that. Joss is not saying anything different than the others. Of course, he's got great responsibilities of his team, his nation, and they will just definitely give themselves a chance. If they play well, they can also win the game. And of course, they're not one of those teams who will be worried about playing India or any other side because they know they're a top side, and they will obviously. He's not faking it. He's genuinely feeling it that England is a great side, and we all know that what they are capable of. They can beat any team in world cricket, and so let's see what happens. It'll come down to those pressure situations, as I'm saying again and again, because big matches it's just about, when you handle those pressure situations better than the other team, you end up winning the games and the competition as well. So England have done that in 2019. Throughout the World Cup, they were a champion side, and they know how to play big games. And there'll be a lot of responsibilities on Joss Butler, Ben Stokes, and few other big names in their team who want to win against India.
Okay, in big news just coming in, here's the Indian 11 that will be playing against England. We still don't know what has happened in the toss, but the players that have been left out are Deepak Hooda, Dinesh Karthik, Yuzi Chahal and Harshal Patel. So here's the Indian team that will be playing the semi-final versus England. So India have won the toss. They've decided to bowl. So India would be chasing. Here's India's 11. Quickly taking a look at that. That's Rohit Sharma, KL Rahul, Virat Kohli, Surya Kumar Yadav, Rishabh Pant. So England have won the toss. I beg your pardon. England have won the toss and they have put India into bat. So they would be chasing. Indian batting will be out very soon. But here's the Indian 11, as I was mentioning. Let me just gather my thoughts once again and tell you the India 11. Rohit Sharma, KL Rahul are your openers. Virat Kohli bats at number 3. Surya Kumar Yadav at number 4. Rishabh Pant at number 5. Hardik Pandya is number 6. Then you've got Akshar Patel at 7. Ravichandran Ashwin at 8. Bhuvneshwar Kumar 9, Mohammad Shami 10, and then you've got Arshdeep Singh at number 11. So the news from the Indian camp is no change in the Indian 11 from the team that played that last league game versus Zimbabwe. No change has been made to the Indian team. Let me go across to Pragyan Ojha. Pragyan, firstly on the subject of toss, England have won the toss and they've decided that they are going to change. India being put in. How do you think the Indian team is going to be seeing this batting first?
I think it's a great opportunity. What I was saying, it's a blessing that, the toss factor has been sidelined, and now that India is going to bat, they put up a good score. And, that always that in a knockout, that pressure of chasing would be there. Then it all comes down to, as I said, the bowling team that does well. So I think our bowlers will have an idea like how to go about it, because the Indian team is batting first, and what I got to know about the wicket is it is a center wicket. The pitch is really, really hard, and there is a little bit of grass on it. So maybe early on there will be some swing. Maybe Indian bowlers or English bowlers will try to get the maximum out of it with the new ball, and then we will see how the middle overs go. So that is what, the bowling team that does well will win, because it is going to be a good wicket for batsmen.
Okay, Pragyan, stay on with us. Harbhajan Singh, Sunny Gavaskar, Pragyan Ojha still with us. But I'm also joined by a Green Brigade. It's no Pakistan here. It's India. It's India versus England. Okay, what are you guys here for? Wrong tickets?
We are here all the way from Chicago to, of course, support Pakistan. And when we were leaving, Pakistan was in the position they won't reach to next level. Everybody told us not to come, but we still came. And luckily, we are in the final. But today, obviously, here one of the best game between England and India. Obviously, we want India.
You want India to win?
To come in the final, because we want a rematch.
Kohli and Surya. I'm here to see Kohli and Surya.
Good high-octane clash. What we want is to see some really cool Kohli drives, really crazy Surya shots. Josh Butler actually also. I want to see Josh Butler, Ben Stokes. So we are stress-free viewing pleasure today.
फ्री आप मैच देखेंगे, टेंशन फ्री
खेल करने आए हैं और यादव के कैचेस मिड ऑन पे पकड़ने आए हैं.
इंडिया की पार्टी देखने आए हैं भाई. We want to actually experience the crowd here, the experience here for sure.
Shout for Kohli at the end.
Okay, give me a shout. Thank you so much. So a group of Pakistani fans who had got the ticket for this semi-final, they've actually come and they're all supporting India for two reasons. One, they're big fans of Virat Kohli, Surya Kumar Yadav. They want to see them bat well. And secondly, they want India to reach the final because they want a rematch. Remember, India beat Pakistan in the group stages earlier. They all want a rematch. So they've all come supporting the Indian team. Pragyan Ojha, Harbhajan Singh and Sunny Gavaskar still with us. Pragyan, a quick question to you on the playing 11 as well. India have made no changes. I know you thought that Yuzi Chahal should have come in, but in a way, probably the right call from India, considering, too many changes sometimes suggest that you're panicking. Best to go with the team that you've gone so far in the tournament.
I think absolutely. After going to the venue, they would have thought that the wicket is different, maybe with the conditions, and it totally boils down to what Rohit Sharma is thinking. Maybe he's a guy who thinks that, maybe he should not be doing a lot of changes. But I still believe Yuzi Chahal is someone who could have added a lot of value with his bowling. But end of the day, it is a captain who, whatever his thoughts are, it is important that he expresses, because he's the man in charge. And for us, it is, it would be good that we back him. So maybe he's decided to go with the same team without making any changes. But personally, if you see, I would have somehow I felt Yuzi could have added a little bit of that flair in the middle overs.
Pragyan makes a valid point that Yuzi Chahal may have been needed. He's the one who picks up a lot of wickets in the middle overs, and that's an area where India haven't been doing very well. For the moment, it's their batting lineup that's really fired and taken them across the line. We'll see if the spinners, Indian spinners, come to the party here in Akshar Patel, Ravichandran Ashwin. Ashwin's got a good record against Ben Stokes, so we'll say if he's employed once their crucial man in Ben Stokes comes out to bat. Harbhajan Singh, Sunny Gavaskar also with us. Harbhajan, to you, India will be out batting very soon. KL Rahul is firing, Virat Kohli is firing, Surya Kumar Yadav is firing. The one man that you really need to fire is Rohit Sharma. He needs to come to the party. Do you think big occasion today, he'd be that guy who could get India off to a flyer?
Yeah, Rohit is a class player. His record speaks for himself, and he led the team so well to get to this level. And yes, he obviously knows that he need to score runs, and he's going through that rough patch. And I believe and I hope, keeping my finger crossed that he'll score runs today. And obviously, India get that partnership which India is looking to get in the beginning of the inning, and don't lose any wicket in the first 6 overs. That will be an ideal start for India.
Okay, I don't know if you can hear me very well because I seem to have just lost the audio, Harbhajan. But I'll also try to ask a follow-up question to you. Just suddenly lost the audio from what you were saying about Rohit Sharma. But do you think KL Rahul also in good form? That will take some pressure off Rohit Sharma, and then KL Rahul can bat in the natural way, and Rohit then can be the guy who can take some time, because we know if he spends a little bit of time on the pitch, eventually if he bats about 20-30 balls, he is going to get you that half century.
Yeah, I think last 2 games he batted really well. He's hitting a lot of ball in the middle and sweet spot. See, KL is batting really well from last 2 innings. I think he was trying to find that rhythm. And from last 2 games, what we saw, he's moving well. He's timing the ball nicely. And I hope that he'll continue with the same sort of form what we have seen in last 2 games and score runs from the top. And I would like to see Rohit Sharma also contributing with him in first 6 overs and give a perfect kind of a start, because when you're playing such big games, semi-final and final, you're 2 games away from the cup. So all you want to do is just give your best, and Rohit, I'm sure he's aware of it. KL is I'm pretty okay with that, and he's now fine.
Okay, Pragyan, I'm going back to that Rohit Sharma question. The one way that we've seen him get out this time in this tournament, he's looked in good touch, but gets out playing that natural shot of his, that pull shot, and gets caught in the boundary. Also because we've got bigger square boundaries in Australia. Maybe that's the reason. Maybe if he was playing on the subcontinental pitches or subcontinental grounds, more often than not, he would have cleared them and got a boundary for that. Adelaide, though, has shorter square boundaries. Do you think that will work in Rohit Sharma's favor, allow him to play that natural stroke? Because even if it hits it, it's going to clear the ground and not get caught in the boundary.
See, irrespective of the dimensions of the ground, Rohit Sharma for sure is going to play that shot, because I was hearing him out when he was playing in England, when he got caught a couple of times. He said that is his instinctive shot, and when the ball is bowled to him at that height, with that length, he just goes with the instinct. So irrespective of the dimension, he is going to go hard. But for me, I would like to see a Rohit Sharma who takes up the responsibility the way he has been doing over the years, because this is a very important game. If he is there, it will give KL Rahul to express himself even further fearlessly. So that is what I would expect. I would expect Rohit Sharma to play a little bit more of anchor kind of a role, because if you see his track record, every time he's been there on the ground, he always accelerates. Maybe at times he has a little bit of slow start, but he compensates really well. So that is his strength. So if he stays at the wicket, he will compensate. The most important thing is he has to be there.
Okay, the Indian batsmen are going to be out very soon. But later in the game, in the second half, Indian bowlers have to come good. And one Indian bowler who's one of the most experienced kind of leader of this pack is Bhuvaneshwar Kumar. Today is going to be very crucial because the best batsman in the opposition ranks is the captain, Jos Buttler. Bhuvaneshwar has a great record against Jos Buttler. So he'd have to come good, get that early wicket to keep India in the game. Meanwhile, this is Bhuvaneshwar Kumar's family in Meerut building up to this encounter. What are the expectations that they have? We spoke to them. Listen in.
क्या कहना है, कितनी तैयारियां हैं और भगवान से क्या प्रार्थना है आज के लिए?
बस भगवान से यही प्रार्थना करते हैं कि आज इंडिया और इंग्लैंड का सेमीफाइनल मैच है, तो भगवान ऐसे जैसा अब तक अच्छा प्रदर्शन करते आई है टीम इंडिया, आगे भी ऐसा ही करेगी और सेमीफाइनल जीत के फाइनल में पहुंचे। भगवान से यही दुआ करते हैं।
सुबह प्रार्थना की भगवान से, क्या कहा, भगवान से क्या मांगा और क्या आज भुवनेश के लिए कितने विकेट मांगे कि कितने विकेट मिलने चाहिए, उसकी परफॉर्मेंस कैसी होनी चाहिए?
बस भगवान से यही प्रार्थना करी थी कि भाई भुवनेश्वर का भी अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस रहे, विकेट निकाले और विकेट निकाल के अपनी टीम को उनको अपना अच्छा सहयोग दे और पूरी टीम इंडिया अच्छा प्रदर्शन करे कि जो सेमीफाइनल जीत के फाइनल में पहुंचे और वर्ल्ड कप जीत के इंडिया लौटे। यही भगवान से प्रार्थना करते हैं।
आप सारे मैच देख रही हैं, क्यों भी खेल रहे हैं, तो किस तरीके से हिंदुस्तान की परफॉर्मेंस अब तक रही है, आपका इस पे क्या कहना है?
हाँ, मैच तो सभी देखती हूँ और भुवनेश्वर का भी अच्छा सहयोग है टीम के लिए और सभी हर प्लेयर अच्छा प्रदर्शन कर रहा, तभी तो सेमीफाइनल में पहुंचा।
भुवनेश से बात हुई, क्या बात हुई और किस तरीके की तैयारियां उसने बताई हैं अपनी?
भुवनेश्वर से बात होती है, सिर्फ मैच के बारे में कोई बात नहीं होती, बस यही पूछती हूँ कि कब और किसके साथ है, तो वो बता देता, बाकी और कोई नहीं, बस यही कि तैयारी कर रहे हैं, प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं।
Okay, we are coming to you live from the Adelaide Oval. And the crowd's really thinning out now, all heading to the stadium because just about 15 minutes to go for that first delivery of the second semi-final to be bowled. It would be Rohit Sharma, KL Rahul coming out to bat, then followed by Virat Kohli, Suryakumar Yadav, the star-studded Indian batting lineup. But what are they against? What is the English bowling lineup looking like that they'd have to be facing today? And can they get the better of them? Here's a closer look at the Three Lions bowling attack.
And
look who we have here.
Yes, she's back.
Yes. 2 new members in the English squad and 1 new member here in the team.
She's a veteran.
She's been here. She was with us in the IPL.
Yeah, she's back. She took a sabbatical from sports today and she's now back here where she really wanted to come.
So-called back.
Be obliged.
Thank you so much.
And our family members did miss you a lot. Where is Aditi?
Can we take some comments?
Instagram messages also.
Perfect.
Requests telling me that I should be back here in the studio.
And as you can see, Aditi is an extension of Adelaide. She's worn orange and Bharat Army is Zindabad. So,
you're the only one not wearing India colors today, FY. Dressed like an Aussie.
I am yellow. I love yellow.
He loves yellow.
Yes.
Happy and gay.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely.
No pun intended.
No, pun intended, no problem. No.
Love Rami puts it best. Sirisa's sister, welcome.
That reel
went viral.
Yeah.
Oh, that thing. Okay.
Anyway, anything with me sometimes goes viral.
So we do our, little rituals when it comes to Rakhi, when it comes to any other festival. And maybe
we need to call Shivam. Hey, Anurag, Shivam ko bula.
So, okay.
He'll bring the Rakhi.
Firstly, Aditi is coming for the semi-finals. She was not there in the league stages. But Aditi, looking at it, the vibes that you're getting from this Indian cricket team.
See, right now I'd like to talk about the facts. The fact is that in the last 20 international matches, whoever has chosen to bat has won it. So
and you also had a toss thing also, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
But today I'm hoping that India is definitely going to make it to finals. And obviously, seeing the Josh or Josh around fans and everybody.
But there is only one Josh, and he's in the England team. The captain.
He's leading them. Josh.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, I have to stop you guys. Arpan Datta, why not Pant? He could have been good against Russia. He is playing.
He is playing. He
So-
is playing.
Yeah, he's
Arpan
playing.
Datta, and we will try to put that playing 11 out for you as well if we possibly can.
Yeah. By
But,
the way, Aditi also came up with this stat which missed all of us.
Which is
11 times. The
11
team
times
has won the toss in Adelaide.
Yes.
And has lost it.
That team has lost the game. So 12th one.
So really
incoming
two
and
signs
losing.
pointing towards an India win.
Yeah,
So actually, if I were Rohit Sharma, I would be extremely happy.
Well aware of all these facts and England team hadn't.
No, they 100% are. They 100% are. But
Yeah,
the difference
yeah,
is,
of
generally
course.
speaking, for T20 cricket, teams are comfortable chasing. So, in this pitch, and why in Australia most teams have been choosing to bat first, is because the pitch gets all difficult as the ball gets old. So, it's better to bat. And more often than not, you were playing back-to-back matches. Worn track always prefers
Also,
to bat.
it's an unused track for a week now.
Yeah, it's a used track in the sense it was used for matches previously, but it's been well taken care of
For a week.
Based on what we were hearing, hard track gonna stay true. Always preferred you bat second. You know what you're chasing.
Right, and also Shoaib Akhtar has anyway extended the invite for us.
Not just him, Rizwan has done it. Everyone has done
it's a
it.
couple of billion people that want the India-Pakistan match to happen at the end.
1 billion on this side, the other on the other side.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I just want to know if it's an India-Pakistan final, which we all are saying it might be because India have a great record against England. How tense will everyone be? The tension quotient. I mean, come on. In the game against
Today or if
even
No,
for
in
the
the
final.
final.
Both. Are we really tense for the Indian cricket team? Like, see, you're confident that they'll make it to the final. Tell our family members why you are so confident that India will make it to the final.
Besides the stats.
Besides the stats, which you pointed out. Why do you think you're so? What is in this Indian team that makes you so confident?
Although I've always said on the show here that I'm not a Virat Kohli fan, but because he's made a comeback and performing so well, so it has reinstated my trust in the team and other players also. Despite their difficult times and situations, everybody has come back. So my faith is reinstated because of that reason.
Because of that. See, simple. Virat's comeback has instilled a new fear, and that knock of 82 against Pakistan. How was the reaction when we won that game against Pakistan, Aditi, for you?
Again, in all these World Cups, I think this is the 7th time. If we 7 games we've already played against Pakistan.
It's the
Pakistan
7th
has
one.
only won one.
Yes.
So I mean, it was given that we will be winning, and just what we.
Well, I think we'll take this clip out and then say we know we'll be winning. So when India faces Pakistan potentially.
So can we
on November
show the
13th.
team now for those who are listening?
So this might happen. So here is your playing 11.
And it's an unchanged 11, which was kind of expected.
Rohit
For all those
Sharma.
joining us right now, yes, that's the playing 11.
Yep, Rohit Sharma, KL Rahul, Virat Kohli, Suryakumar Yadav, Hardik Pandya, Rishabh Pant. Yes, Pant is playing.
Indeed.
DK is not. Akshar Patel, despite England having 3 left-handers,
is playing.
R. Ashwin playing, still no Yajvendra Chahal. There is Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, Mohammad Shami, and of
Arshdeep
course
Singh.
the new Indian player who has taken Australia by storm. There is an army of his followers there. That's Arshdeep.
He's got
Singh.
marriage proposals on our channel.
Absolutely did. Yes.
At Melbourne,
Yeah.
Arshdeep, will you marry me? It trended.
Wow, that's very interesting. Even when we were chatting with a few fans on a show at GNT, everybody was saying Arshdeep.
Yeah, he's one
and
India's.
so much faith and trust in
Yes.
his abilities now.
He's now been looked at as the leader of this bowling attack.
Which is
now,
very weird considering he's the youngest.
Considering he's what, just 24?
I think he's younger.
No, 23,
24.
So anyway, let's also take a look at the England 11, and on
The
paper,
Josh is there.
this is a very, very strong 11, even with the changes that they've
Even with
made.
the 2 changes,
Josh
yes.
Butler, wicketkeeper / captain, Alex Hales, their best batsman so far, Phil Salt, Ben Stokes, Harry Brook, Liam Livingston, Moeen Ali, Sam Curran, Chris Wokes, Chris Jordan, Adil Rashid. That batting lineup.
2 changes over there for viewers joining us right now.
Yes,
2 changes over there.
Phil
4
Salt,
changes
yes.
for England. 1, of course, being up top in the batting order. Darwin Malan going out. And Phil Salt coming in. And the other change that we see is Chris Jordan making his comeback. into the playing 11, and he is replacing Mark Wood.
Yeah,
Mark Wood.
Mark Wood, the big loss for England because
I think his express pace would have been a major trouble for the Indian
major
match.
trouble.
Yep.
Yes.
So and that too, if it's a true wicket, hard and bouncy.
Oh, Wood would have enjoyed bowling in this.
Bowling,
for sure.
Absolutely. So Adelaide painted blue, but not with the England blue. It's painted blue with.
No, but to be fair, England are more red right now than blue. So
Yes.
I can't figure out the England jersey. Sometimes it looks like Zimbabwe. Sometimes it looks like a mix of the West Indies and India. Put
to be fair, this one looks a lot better than the ones they had recently. That blue and red combination I never liked. This red is little more.
Usually your state of mind, that's, these colors you're seeing. When you see blue, you
always
actually
associate
seeing
it with.
India.
Yeah, correct. And this, to be fair, looks more, dare I say, English. So yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. But there are more England players in this than the previous period than there are now. Because look, in the 2010-11 period, because Brexit had still not happened, it's a lot of South Africans.
Correct. Yeah, but to be fair, this England team is pretty diverse even then.
Yeah.
You have a Moeen, you have an Adel.
I mean, Ben Stokes is not from England.
And Ben Stokes is a New Zealander,
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
His dad played rugby for the All
One of the
Blacks,
greats.
so
Jet
Stokes. Yeah.
Yep. Fly half of the All Blacks.
And even isn't Karan
The anthems
of,
are on now.
Zimbabwe.
Yes, correct.
The anthems are on. With just about.
Yes, God Save the King, which is 40 seconds.
Remember, the king now.
Yes.
I still remember that moment when afterwards, like there was this one very viral clip where there's this English broadcaster only. Twice in about 10 seconds he goes,
God save
Her Majesty the King. Her Majesty the King. Poor guy, for 70 years they've been used to saying Her Majesty, and now it's the King. So it's His Majesty.
And now it's the Indian national anthem, 52 seconds, Jana Gana Mana, which is one of the shortest, but also one of the most passion arousing.
I think the Indians were very smart that they only took one verse.
Do we have any idea about the spectator count yet? Any ball figure?
See, Adelaide right now, the capacity is 61,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it will be 63,000 at the stadium.
Oh, it will
Excess Indian seats.
Look at that. Wow.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's completely full.
Everywhere
influx
India,
of Indian fans.
I'm saying, even if India reaches the final Melbourne, you'll have about 80,000 Indian supporters interspread with 20 to 25,000 Pakistan supporters.
Yes.
Because the capacity at Melbourne is 1 lakh, but it can be 1,05,000.
Yeah.
1,05,000.
And in the first match, I think we had about 93,000 people.
95,000 if I'm not mistaken.
Something on that.
That's what India Pakistan can do to you, and even England. See, Adelaide's it's a smaller ground, unfortunately, because after the redevelopment that has happened, it's now from 70,000, it's come down to 60,000.
Yeah.
All right.
But Melbourne, it's
a massive stadium.
Huge, yeah.
It's a colosseum,
Yeah.
indeed. And
So then, ladies and gentlemen, time for prediction maybe? Shall we?
We can. Let's just
Prediction
wait for the batsman to come.
Batsman to come.
I'm really
Kevin-
keen to see what the body language of the batsman will be, particularly. And
this is now Shane, look, it's because of your agenda that everybody's saying waiting for KL Rahul.
My agenda. You think people don't do that already? I'm no one. I don't chow agendas. That's sports stuck. We do dugouts.
You're dugout against KL Rahul. Yeah.
No, but I really.
That's just because you've been digging too deep into him.
No, I really want to see what his body language is like, because again, his record in big matches against big teams, very suspect.
KL Rahul.
Yeah, he needs a big innings today.
But
Needs a big innings. The Barmy Army is there.
Yeah.
We've been talking a lot about, parallels being drawn from 2011, 92. Drawing a parallel from what had happened last World Cup. Let's just hope it is 3 half centuries on the trot for KL Rahul as well. He's hit 2 of them already.
He's hit 2 of them now.
He's hit 2 of them. He did the same thing a year back. Let's just hope another half century from him.
Incoming and loading.
Some quick fire runs from Captain Rohit Sharma. I think all eyes will be on him as well. And Shane isn't quite happy with that maybe.
No, I really hope and pray that, again, he looks a little confident.
Yeah.
Hopefully he doesn't play out a maiden
But
over this time.
how, we've seen Hardik Pandya emerge as a shining star, and maybe, that might just happen with KL Rahul.
We do need
as well.
that. We do
need that. But to be fair, KL's been emerging for 10 years now.
Yeah. So let's get down to predictions.
Predictions
Aditi,
then.
What do you think? How much will India score? I know the result, what you will say.
Result, I
Yeah,
think there's no
but,
need for us to predict.
Yes, I think result goes without saying,
Goes without saying, but I think India should at least make 180 plus.
180 plus. And who do you think will be the top scorer?
Top scorer Virat Kohli again.
Of
That's
course.
the only
Adelaide.
name that comes to my
Let's
mind.
go to Shane now. Shane.
169.
169.
Why? Why
That
would you say
precise a
that?
number.
No, because I think no matter what they put on the board, we have the bowlers to restrict them. So 169.
Top scorer for you.
I'll stick a limb out and I'll stick my neck out and say Hardik.
Hardik Pandya. And what about you?
I'm looking at a score between 160, 165, 170. I'll
Pick
be
one
very
number, doesn't
very
matter.
happy with anything above
One
170.
One number.
170 then.
Okay.
170.
And who will be the top scorer?
I think it'll be Kohli.
It'll be Kohli. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have a different take on it.
Okay.
India are making 167. But they are winning.
67.
So
That
67,
exactly
69,
what-
70, 80.
But for me,
Rishabh
the star is going to be with the
Rishabh
bat.
Pant?
No, not
Rohit
Rishabh
Sharma.
Pant. It'll be Surya.
Acha.
Okay.
And with the ball, Ashwin.
If Ashwin can do it, if Ashwin puts in a, okay, I'm putting this out there. I don't care. This has come back to bite me in the butt previously, but I'm doing it.
Right.
If Ashwin takes 2 or 3 wickets or has a match-winning performance today,
No, what if he selected man of the match?
30 push-ups.
Push-ups
right
here?
here.
Non-stop.
Non-stop. I've
All
done
right.
50 on the trot.
All right then.
You have?
Yes.
Okay.
He has.
He can vouch for it.
He has.
Okay,
He has.
then.
Aditi also no.
No, she wasn't there for that.
She wasn't there?
for that show.
Okay, nice. So that is the major update.
Oh, look who's the
Kumar Dharmasena.
Advantage England?
Yeah, definitely.
Nah, that's not. We're not seeing a repeat of 2019. That is for sure.
To be fair, this is not a final either. So.
Yes.
So will we have a
And we have Paul
2000
Rifle.
Yeah, Pistol. His nickname is Pistol.
Pistol Pete.
Pistol.
Or
Yes.
Pistol Paul in this
Pistol
case.
Rifle.
And
Pistol rifle.
We're not very creative in that.
Yeah,
right?
but there is, for me, there is only one pistol, and that was Pistol Pete.
Sampras. Yeah. Yes. Hence I said Pistol Pete. I remember that.
Yep.
Sampras. Yeah.
So will we have a 2007 vibe? Will we have a 1992 vibe?
See, 92 vibes we've already gotten with
Yeah,
what
yeah.
Pakistan have done. At least
2007 vibe.
2007
Or a
should
2017 vibe? That
All
is
of that will be determined over the next
2.5
Oh
hours.
my God.
We will be back in the mid innings and we will analyze how was India's batting.
be. Or our England's
Yeah,
bowling.
who
So
got it?
just to put it out there, 169 is Shane's prediction,
167.
160 over there, 167
67.
and 170.
But you said 180 plus. Fix it.
180 plus.
180 plus.
180.
Also on the line besides the
Abey.
predictions.
Good
All right,
shot.
loser.
Good
But
shot.
KL Rahul with the boundary first ball.
Yep.
Yeah, he's
ball.
proving me wrong. Good thing I didn't say
it's a 4.
KL. Ashwin
Good
is a
start.
better bet.
Good start. That'll
Good
help calm
start,
a few
yeah.
nerves to shore.
Absolutely. KL
To be fair,
Rahul.
absolute loosener from Ben.
Yep.
Yes,
He's looking
going
to
out,
swing, getting it, but very
but
wide.
slightly uppish as well, if you see.
No, that's what I'm
Slightly
saying. No,
uppish.
he got it wide. That's the difference.
And remember, KL Rahul.
Uppish from KL Rahul is what I was
No,
saying.
but
Good,
KL
good,
Rahul
good.
has 1 century, and that was also against England.
England.
Correct.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So it's a big day loading, and Shane, instead of Ashwin, you should have done for KL Rahul.
No, I did for Ashwin. I'm happy.
If KL Rahul does well, you'll do 60 push-ups.
No. I'm not saying that. I put out my bet. Wahi hai. Nothing more. You're not getting anything else.
Okay.
Sharo, then we'll leave you with live visuals.
Yep.
And
Don't forget to subscribe to Sports Today for all
Yes.
the latest news and updates. It's going to be an action-packed day.
Remember, like, comment, subscribe, tap the bell, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram too.
And we'll
Okay.
see who has less tension.
And
towards
please
the-
join us in the
continue
middle
to
of the-
enjoy the banter, which we continue to bring to you. Until then,
Bye-bye.
Vanakkam.
bye-bye.
Come.